probably the worst answer ever. But realistically, I do challenge myself on a regular basis. I'll hear something on the news and I'll sort of internalize it, and then by the end of the day, I'll just take a few moments and I'll sit there and rattle off stuff in my head, which again are some of the best conversations I've had all day. But the nice thing about that is that it allows me to pick a couple topics and expand about it, and then that actually becomes something that I can dedicate to long term. So then it allows me to be able to absorb that information quickly through practice. Because then you can hear anything and you can pull from reserves you didn't even realize you had. But that does come over time. Yep. It's a great question.
I'm not sure I got the question.
The question was, and I can sort of, well, I'll screw it up. She asked that there isn't a lot of focus in Toastmasters on the transition between becoming a better speaker to becoming a public speaker, or even better yet, a paid public speaker. And realistically, where do those prices come from? How is it gauged? Things along those lines. Honestly, it's the most messed up system on the planet. It's incredibly offensive where you'll see someone's YouTube videos on what they're doing, and it's hard not to go, that person's not worth $2,500 a session. So what makes someone worth $500 or $250 or $110 versus $5,000? You really do have to, for lack of better words, shop your competition. And I know it sounds horrible, but everyone has a very difficult time gauging their own value, okay? So you might be $20 an hour. You might think yourself as a $125 an hour, anything along those lines. The cool thing to ask anytime somebody or a corporation asks you to come speak, you literally say, do you have a budget? What is your budget for that? And that's how you start. That's where you learn the poker face. Because if they say, you know, we've only got $500, don't say, okay, that's okay. Don't do that. But say, okay, you know what? That's within reason of what I would do for this particular engagement. And then you start building your speaking portfolio. And you, for crying out loud, have someone like this incredibly awesome man, I love your face, film what you do. So then you're building a visual portfolio as well. And then over time, you can see what your competition is doing, and then also simply find out who's willing to pay what to also have you return and or come back for sequential follow-ups, which is then where residual income and the ability to come back for a $2,500 session that might be 2 months worth of 2 times 90-minute sessions per month. You see, that type of thing. Don't take my pricing structure. I know where you live. I'll come after you. So anyway. Okay, how do you self-deprecate without offending, without going over the line, or how do you simply get better at doing that? Okay. Now, honestly, the only way to do it is to just do it. Don't be afraid. I don't have a filter, okay? I was told by Omar not to swear. So, yourself, Omar, over there in the corner, I see you. Beeping myself out. But no, really, what you do is you gauge your audience. Again, our target speaker today is talked about investigating your audience, investigating the subject. For the love of Pete, know where you're going to give the presentation. A VA hospital, for crying out loud. Not a happy place. But one of the things that they do on a regular basis is they basically crap on themselves. I don't mean literally, I mean up here, because of what they're going through. If you can find that one spark of joy in their life that they have left, and you can build off of that by relating and saying, you might have that problem, but my father used to beat me with a switch. That's self-deprecating humor, and it's not going to work with everybody, but who knows, with that one person it might resonate. And point is that you don't have to be afraid. You don't have to have a filter. You just have to have a level of respect for yourself and for your audience, so you kind of very quickly know what you can joke about and how far you can go.